Social media is fucking... Social media for education at the moment is like the worst place ever, I think.
I think because over the back end of COVID, when the science-based lifty approach really started to take you off, where you had like a lot of the TikTokers going there, everyone adopted one idea and they just ran with it and never diversified. Like the iliac pull-down big thing. Remember when that first came along?
Do you know what's so funny? It's like, I've got a video of me doing that pull-down before...
It was cool.
Literally, and I'll fuck it. I've got the receipts. I'll fucking date it. I'll date it. I'll date it. I'll try to find it on my Instagram. And it was like... And again, it wasn't special. It was literally me just going, oh, fucking lat pull-down's being used. Functional trainer's free.
Use this.
There's a bench there. Like, I can't really get overhead. I'll go a little bit less than overhead. Ooh, lats feel good. And like, that was it. And then for the next, year, everyone argued about it.
People still argue about it.
People still argue about it because people copied it. And then if people are like, oh, it's a JPG pull down, I'm like, it's not.
Even he does videos and he's like, please don't call it that. he did one the other day.
I would actually be annoyed if I was like, oh, I saw this cool pull down, everyone's naming it after me, and it's like, I don't want it named after me. Just it's a lat exercise.
Yeah, he literally was like, I didn't make this, I saw this online. I was like, that's quite good actually.
Literally.
Because there was a big argument of like, does it actually bias the iliac fibers more and all this stuff?
Who fucking cares?
Literally, and hypertrophy coach says yes, Paul Carter says no. I'm just saying, like, you know what?
Paul Carter says no because hypertrophy coach
even though
yes.
he like so many bum licks him, he's a great guy. So I just this
is why I have to stay off social media, especially with these type of topics, because I'm just like, I just can't fucking do it. The only thing I ever keep up to date with is the fallout, like the Jeff Nippard getting like pushed across the room thing. I had no idea what was the build up. I just saw the video and was like, ha, that was funny.
You don't like Jeff, do you?
I just find him fucking annoying. I find the entire kind of like evidence and science based like thought process really annoying, because the content is just recycled of this concept of like, here's the best thing because science says that. And it's just like, well, first of all, like from a research perspective, like you can't do a study long enough to determine long-term effects of training.
Science can also tell you whatever you want it to tell you within reason if you do it a certain way.
9 times out of 10 they're referencing their own fucking studies as well.
Yeah.
Which is just like, what's the fucking point?
I am, because obviously the Mike, whatever his name is, Ballsack dude.
He is a knobhead.
He's a knobhead.
He's an absolute knobhead.
Honestly,
he's been a knobhead for ages, yeah.
I've never really been like a massive follower of Jeff. I mean, some of his stuff I pop up, that's cool. But I've never watched his YouTube much.
No.
But when he's pushed, I was like, that's too far, man. Honestly, like, I'm sorry.
It was just like, why are we arguing about this?
At what point do you turn around and be like, someone's mum
I
doesn't love them?
did think it was a bitch move for Jeff to go get a CT scan right afterwards. I was like, mate, you got knocked over a little bit. Come on.
I have a feeling someone said that he did it because he filed a police report, and to get a police report, you have to have that you have to have shown you've taken action.
That I understand. Okay, that makes sense. But I saw him fall and I went, there's no fucking way you need, like come on, man.
Also, I didn't realise they trained at the same gym together for like ages.
I didn't know that either. That's what I thought was hilarious.
Because I saw the whole interaction. I was like, I thought maybe like, obviously he'd shown this, but maybe he egged it on a little bit. But he actually just didn't. He literally was just... You know what I mean? And I was saying, Mike's a big dude. You've seen when he used to compete?
Yeah.
He was huge.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like, I love how it's all the industry could talk about for about 10 days. And after that, it's like,
I didn't even last night. Genuinely, if you look at...
Probably a week, maybe?
I reckon it's like 3 days before people got bored. And everyone was like, what's going on? And
I was quite late, but I think I found out on like day 2, because people were making videos about the video. And I'm just like, what the fuck's going on? This is how little time I spend on social media.
Yeah.
Like, keeping up to date with this type of thing.
I just got sent it by people.
Of course you did.
I was like, what's happened here? I thought it was like a doppelganger. I thought it was fake for a second. I was like, that's kind of like...
For a second, I thought it was like set up, and then I was like, actually, no, that does not look that set up.
But Mike's whole argument about it was like, I just don't like science guys. Why? Because you're small. I'm like, it's not really. I've heard some arguments in my time.
Like,
it's not the best argument.
Get a better argument. Like, I get not liking someone, but at least have a valid reason.
You know, when you turn around and be like, you could think a bit harder.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Say something about your mum or something.
Yeah, use your brain. Come on.
I don't think Mike's got
I mean, that's fair.
He's been banned from the gym now, hasn't he? From that gym.
Has he?
Yeah. Was it Pure Muscle and Fitness? Great gym. Fantastic
Canada?
gym.
Was it in Canada? Yeah. Looks really good.
I thought Canadians were meant to be all friendly. Why are you pushing people over benches? Everyone tells me they're the nicest people in the world. I'm not sold. I don't believe in that.
Does not represent Canada.
Literally. Someone said we don't claim him. But yeah, you don't really have much. Like, that was the most exciting thing to happen in fitness for a long time. And now it's just died again.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing happened apart from have you seen that guy that just trained with Larry Wheels, El Chapo or something?
Again, this is the thing. You're so much more into observing.
I only saw this on YouTube. It's some guy.
Yeah.
I thought he was a joke. He was obviously. I think he's joking. I can't tell if it is, but he's like a really slim older dude.
Right.
And Larry's brought him on somehow, and he wears 3 sets of knee wraps, 3 belts over each other, and will like 1 inch ROM a squat and would blow like 600 pounds. And Larry's like. I thought he was, because there's a video of him like dumbbell pressing like the 130-pound dumbbells. I was like, surely not.
No.
And he lies down. No, he doesn't. He lies down, he goes, and drops it, and he's like, I was like, surely it's a joke.
I remember there was a PT who used to work in a gym I trained at in London, and like, it was the quietest gym ever, it was full of Cybex.
Oh,
and he would always ask me to spot him. And it got to the point where I just started saying no, because he would chuck the 45s up on incline, and it would literally be, ooh. And I'm like, I'm not helping you pick that weight up when you can't control it.
Yeah, but what about this? Imagine you goes up there and you just push it down. Like, just keep going. And then you whisper in his ear, long live the king, and then leave him there and just walk away. And then pec tear.
That would have, that absolutely, absolutely.
That's actually relevant though. Cybex, great gym brand.
Great gym brand.
Do you know what that segues us onto quite well? We need 3 words. What would you say the top tier? Give me a word for like...
Apex?
Yeah, Apex.
Apex, yeah.
Shit.
Can get a decent amount out of it.
Solid with range, I would say. Because the reason I've said with range is I've got...
Yeah, the problem that I've had this conversation with the people is like, I think even the Apex tier companies have some really shit pieces of kit,
every company
which is so weird to me sometimes.
Their good is just better, and there's just more of it.
Absolutely, yeah.
So for example, I think we could agree quite well. Yeah. So personally, the bottom 2 brands, in my opinion, of like the worst shit in the world, Matrix and Techno Gym. Everyone's like, oh my god, my gym's got loads of Techno Gym. I thought it was really good.
This gym's got Techno Gym downstairs.
Yeah, grow up.
It's so bad.
Honestly, if you see Matrix and Techno Gym, it's commercial gym, or it's hotel gym, or like apartment gym.
Oh, so leisure centre. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there are a couple of bits of kit where you're like, this is usable. Yeah. Usable. But most of it's just crap.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, it's like, when I chest press on the Techno Gym, I chest press like this. I look like I'm doing like a sideways chicken wing arm extension, and I'm like, why does my shoulder hurt so much? Yeah,
like the leg extension downstairs, like I can't fully extend on it. The stack hits the top of the fucking... And I'm like, who's designed this?
Have you seen their leg, the seated leg curl where like...
with the pad below the knee.
I hate it.
I know why that was designed, and like the Nautilus have actually got one which is exactly the same, and it's just as shit. But that is... I cannot express how much I hate that machine design so much.
I just fall off.
Yeah, it's just some people. It's just like if you would like to not have a posterior cruciate ligament anymore, it's a great machine. Like
who needs it?
If you wanted tibia to just go right backwards, snap that off. Great.
It's just exciting. I'm never going to use it again.
I just can't. And I'm like, and even when like I can set it up well and load it well, and I'm just not getting any hamstring out of this at all.
Thing is, at one point you just turn around like, is it actually better just not doing anything?
I genuinely would rather...
Like, genuinely.
I would rather set up like a cable hamstring curl, or do like a Swiss ball hamstring curl, or just do... Genuinely would rather do anything apart from that, because I think it's just such a crap piece of kit.
The Techno Gym hack squat is so large as well.
Oh, we've got one downstairs. It's huge. The footprint's insane.
Like the Panatta glute drive is huge as well.
Yeah.
That's also another
one.
So... Every tier has a spectrum. Just because you're in one tier doesn't mean you're just universally the same as everyone else.
Absolutely not. No.
Like Matrix and Techno Gym, they're on my leg. That's where they are. Panatta, a good tickle above. Still crap. Just have a couple of actual right bits of kit.
And they've probably got on a variety in their kit to like be like, oh, this is okay, like because they've got so many fucking machines.
They've got every machine.
Whereas all the Techno Gym stuff is like, you're all going to be designed exactly the same. We know.
It's literally the same machine, just kind of morphed slightly into a different muscle group. Yeah. But Panatta have like, the thing I don't like about Panatta is 90% of the machines are crap. They feel like they're made out of plastic.
They don't feel sturdy at all.
Like even small things like whoever designed it doesn't think about when you're training, you're probably a little bit sweaty. Why are the handles smooth plastic? When I tell you I had to wrist strap on a press because I was just sliding off, I was like, And I was like, this is just going to hurt me. And after a while, I got to like, so they max out the bench press, for example. The maximum load on the bench press is 150 kilos. That's a warm-up. Grow up. And I was like, what? Why? So I was doing the chest press. It maxes out 110 kilos a side. So obviously you stack on 110 a side. Yeah. I'm pressing. I was like, I'm not going to fail because of my pecs here. I'm going to fail because in a second that's going to happen. And it did. I got to the bottom and it just went ping. I had chalk on as well for a chest press. That's embarrassing. So that's crap. They've got some. I've not used it. The Smith machine that's like 2 separate hands.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be really cool or just crap.
Yeah, I know a few people have used, I don't know if it's Panata's model, but a similar model, and I've actually said it's decent. But it's like it's a fixed path converging press. That's it.
Sure, I've got loads of those in every gym I go to. Probably better ones.
This is the problem I find with like people who like the companies that design kit. I'm like, you're either ripping off something that's shit and not making it better, or you're not coming up with a new idea that's actually good. It's like, have you seen? I think it's Panata. They've got like a standing bicep curl and tricep extension machine.
I've seen the bicep curl, yeah.
I don't know if it's a 2-in-1, but it's just everyone does it. But like they have to do this because you just cannot line yourself up with it.
Maybe it's just like
why did you need to make it?
Maybe it's just trying to bring in like additional shoulder flexion in the bicep curl. We start doing like the worm with your arms.
It's just one of those things where I'm like, there are things. They're just pieces of kit I see, and I'm like, you didn't need to make this. And then gym owners, you don't need to buy it as well.
Well, they buy it because they get a discount. So the owner of one of my gyms came to me and goes, "Oh, Harry, we're going to get new kit." I was like, "Oh, yes, love this."
Oh, God.
At the moment, it's all hammer strength. Which
is... Hammer strength, I'm actually okay with.
That's mid-tier.
Yeah, that's mid. That's absolutely
but we'll get to
absolutely
that.
Mid, yeah.
And then I was like, what brand? And there's me thinking like, oh, this could be fun.
Oh, no.
He goes, yeah, so I spoke to this Italian company. And immediately I'm like, I was like, who's Italian? He's like really well known in bodybuilding, huge. I was like, who is he talking about? He goes, oh, Panata. I was like, oh, piss off, man. And then he goes, yeah, so they said to me, if I kit out the entire gym with Panata, they'll give me 50% off.
Yeah, that's about right.
And I was like, do you ever think why they're giving you such a discount?
I would say most companies do that. That's why most gyms when they start, they've got like a full Watson, full Techno Gym, wherever it is.
If you go over like 80%, you can call it a training facility. Hammer strength, for example.
The official training facility. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, there's quite a few gyms I've seen like that. But yeah, it's just a really, I just don't understand it. And like, what I think the thing I find funny about, especially like newer pieces of kit, is people rave about them purely based off novelty. It's like there's a commercial gym in town. They've got like a lot of like new glute kit, which is great, but they've got a standing abductor, and it is.
I saw one of those for the first time ever the other day.
The shittest piece of kit ever. Like, if you genuinely think it's a good piece of kit, you have zero fucking understanding of training. And what's worse is I see people, the PTs being like, "Oh, here's my client repping out on this." I'm like, it's fucking pointless. Do a lunge.
You know why they did it though, don't you? Because all the booty builders, trust me, I built a YouTube channel doing this. Not to clarify, not doing the bad girls.
Are you sure?
I wish, honestly.
Next video.
That's £10 a month if you want to get it. You know where to go. So all the booty builders used to do like the abductor, but then they'd stand up on it and hover.
And now what they've done is take the seat out of it.
Well, they literally thought, hang on a second, I can actually sell this for more and actually cost less.
Cost less, there's nothing that's less in it.
Well, actually, it's all the broken ones that they just forgot to finish.
Put the seat on,
new market. And now all the booty builders are like, oh my god, that's not JPG pull down, that's a booty builder abductor. Someone's done it. Whitney Simmons, is that who probably her?
It's fucking mad.
I love it because the fitness is funny because it exposes you to so much stupid shit.
I think that's what it is.
That's literally how half of us have jobs.
Yeah.
I'm like, honestly, if the fitness industry was good, I'd be out the job.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly how
You'd be out the job as well.
I'd be fucked. Like, honestly, it's one of those things that everyone thinks I'm this like horrible, bitter person towards the majority of the coaching industry, which I am. But I also love them because they make me look so good by doing nothing.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually not nothing, just being who they are. And it's like, it's the best thing ever. And it's like, it's the reason why people go to, oh, have you heard of this coach? And I'm like, I know exactly what your plan's going to look like. Let me see it. Yeah, do you know why? Because I've got 2 clients with the same coach and it's the same plan.
3x10 go heavy.
Literally, yeah.
I love it.
And I'm like, awesome, cool. And like some of them are like, yeah, this is my plan. And it's copied and pasted someone else's name on it as well. And I'm like, I remember seen that a few times.
I remember when we did that thing where we kind of roasted Grace Beverly now, her old training program. Yeah. And it was literally just a selection of movements that everyone 3x10 and then description, go heavy. So we roasted it, and then she commented, she replied to us, and she deleted them, but I still have the screenshots.
Of course,
I've got receipts, I kept them. And it was going about, this plan was looked over by some of the best professionals in the world, and I literally, at what point I literally said, I was like, what point does 3x10 go heavy, written by a professional, suddenly remove from the fact that everything is 3x10 go heavy? I was like, imagine being like, this was actually written by a Nobel Prize winner, and it just says, that's clapped.
That's clapped.
Do you know what I mean? Like, the description is so loose, and you're just like, there's no like variance there. There's no like, what is heavy? Like, are we going to talk about intensity? Are we going to maybe actually describe what heavy could be?
What actually could be?
Because
Yeah,
it's subjective to the individual.
Yeah, I think people forget like intensity and failure is relative to the exercise.
Yeah,
like that's exactly the whole point of it.
The thing is, I kind of like have a bit of a spectrum. Is that I always kind of dictate as failure as like task failure. The task for this movement is from this. So for me, for example, like a chest press. Let's have bench pressing. Bench press task failure would be when I can no longer fully extend.
Yes.
But flip around on things like a lat pull down.
Yeah.
Task failure is there's a bit of a range.
There's a leeway.
It's no longer can I not touch my chest. It's can I get between my chest and maybe my chin, or chest and nose. Same with the hamstring curl. Is it immediately when I can't hit my bum anymore? But do I have a bit of leeway of?
Yeah, there's variance depending on like what muscle position, what muscle length you're in, and what joint position, all this stuff like that. I think that's why variance is fucking important, because like it can be the difference between you not gaining muscle and gaining muscle at all, but it's like it can be the difference between you like being able to extend that stimulus and be like, oh, I can get a bit more out of this.
Yeah.
And it's like it's also not fucking hard to figure that out as well. That's the other thing.
The thing is, I think if you just step away and look at it from like a really like simplified external perspective, is does this movement get like aggressively hard in this position, which is like and really abnormal compared to the rest of it? Oh, it does actually. So does that mean that am I not missing out a lot of potential stimulus here? Or if the resistance profile is relatively even, maybe it's not something that needs as much of a spectrum.
Exactly.
And then you're just like, oh, hang on a second. I can actually come up with the answer
and
myself.
And that takes, 5 minutes to figure out, probably?
But some people find it really... I've had this conversation with people before, and they're like, I'm doing push downs for my shoulders. And I'm like, hang on a second. Oh, you're doing tricep push downs for your shoulders? He goes, yeah, I thought your arms and shoulders were one thing. I was like, hang on a second. And
right, okay. Yeah. Anytime like your non-lifter says, I've got shoulder pain, ask them to point out where. It will be anywhere within this region.
Head down.
Like, genuinely, when I did MSK, it was like, oh, I've got shoulder pain. I'm like, cool, could you point? I was like, yeah, it's like, I'm like, right, okay, cool. We are probably about 6 inches away from your glenohumeral joint, so we are not at the shoulder anymore.
I was going to say, you're probably a distance away.
I was like, yeah, we're like C3 here. So cool, so not the shoulder, first of all.
It's like saying, I've got a really bad quad. Right here. It's really bad quad.
My upper body quad.
Yeah. Too fair. Honestly, this is my upper body quad.
Yeah.
My triceps are body quads.
But yeah, so like, it's one of those things where I think it's very easy to forget how little the average individual is genuinely aware of all things training.
Yeah.
And again, that segues back into how little the average gym owner knows about kit.
Glad you said that, actually.
Yeah.
I was going to call out a bunch of gyms. I'm not going to because
we'll leave that.
Yeah, we don't get cancelled suddenly. What's another really crap brand? Hoist.
Yeah, I've only used 1 or 2 hoist pieces, but every single video I've seen of someone use them, it's like making the joke that it moves, and I look at it and go, that just doesn't make any sense to me.
It's a novelty thing of how can we get a bit of kit that's just been replicated so many times because it's good. If it's not broken, don't fix it, and just like add a spice to it. Leg extension, you'll now rock yourself to sleep.
I used I think it was like the pull down that has like 6 different handles.
Is that the one where you lean back?
Yeah, all of the handles are shit as well. All of them are really, really badly positioned as well.
I like that.
When you could have just been like, chop it off, put a rotating handle, probably would have made it actually half decent.
Or just put a massive bar across, that's good enough.
Anything, just don't make the machine. Easy way. just do a cable lap
problem solver.
Yeah, and I used it, and I just did 2 sets and went, it's again, like, this is never going to be something I'm going to progressively overload and be like, oh, I'm going to keep this in my plan.
Yeah.
It's something that has literally been designed for someone to go, ooh, I'm in a new gym. This looks fun. Well, never going to do that again.
Well, it's where you get like the Gen Pop people come into like a new gym and they're like, hang on a second, the machine moves with
me.
And they're like, this is the best gym I've ever seen.
This is the best shit
ever. This is actually the best shit I've ever seen. I don't know what other really bad brands there are. I'm sure I actually do have a thousand.
I've seen some brands that are like, they look very similar. There's Exago, which is a really common one in a couple of like the northern gyms here, and like it's fine. I think again, it's not probably as smooth as Techno Gym. They've got some pieces where they're like, it's just not built properly to adjust for people. Matrix and Techno Gym are just because they're so popular and consistent, and they're so consistently shit.
Pure Gym.
Yeah, like Pure Gym and the Gym Group, they've got all of them. Like, there's one or two Matrix pieces where I'm like, oh, actually, you're okay, but you're let down by the fact that you're either fucking huge, so not many people fit in you, or you just do not adjust to get into the position where you can get the most out of it.
Yeah.
And that's what lets you down.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, well, especially for a commercial gym, which is meant to be for the masses, 5% of your population can use this, which will probably ironically be the big meatheads anyway.
I don't need to fix it.
Exactly, yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. It's a great gym, I say. But personally, I'm a big fan of Matrix. Suddenly, actually, top tier. Because there's, do you know what brand, like, this is a bit of a controversial one, because everyone boned over it when it first happened, Watson.
Yeah, Watson's a weird, they blocked me.
Why?
Oh, because, right, so...
What do you do? I just called them on video. Why are they not blocking me?
I did not realise they blocked me until a friend of mine who owns a gym was like, what do you think of this? And I was like, I can't see this post. And he was like, it's Watson. I went, am I blocked by Watson? What happened was, over lockdown, they tried to sell a home gym package. And it was it was like a set of dumbbells, one cable column, and like a bench. And it was like 10 grand, like 8 grand or something. And so everyone just like kicked off at them. I was one of the people who did that. And they blocked me.
Good.
They've been blocked for 4 years.
Kick them out.
And I'm just like, fuck, really? The funny thing is, I really rate their benches. I really like Watson benches.
It's a bit narrow.
You're fucking wide as fuck.
I don't feel like I'm just a bit of a blob.
I like Watson benches.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. But, yeah.
And like we've got I worked in a PC studio that we had all the old Watson stuff. Oh my god, it was not amazing. Like the combo leg extension leg curl. Like I had
combo things in general.
I had knee pain for a long time, like trying to overload that. And
character
I was
building.
Yeah, it's character building. Yeah. The seated car phrase. Lever is this fucking long, which so you put 20 kilos on it, it's like bling, bling, every rep. So we had to like band it for our clients to be like, right, you cannot bounce this fucking thing. Pull down combo was fine, normal cable machine was fine.
You can't cock a pull down up that hard.
Someone will have, I don't know.
Hoist
probably will. 45-degree leg press was fine, not adjustable, quite small.
They've got like a squat press variant.
Watson?
Yeah,
we've got one.
It's not bad.
I've
used it once.
Mid.
It's nothing compared to the Cybex, but
Cybex is beautiful. It looks like the Cybex, but basically it's just you have to push the handle away to unlock
That's
it.
the one
which
thing
is
that threw me
the
off.
weirdest thing in the world.
And I was like, why are you not going anywhere?
Which is like, who has designed this? And this is kind of what I said before, where I'm like, you were close. You were actually close, but then whoever your engineer is just went, let's just.
I said that to Watson in person.
Really?
So when someone I know opened up at the gym, enemy, Watson reached out to me and said, "Oh, John, do some stuff together." I was like, "I don't have a gym." I was like, "I'm going to be honest with you, like, what can I do?"
Yeah.
And then I was like, "I know someone who's actually looking at opening a gym. Put them in contact."
Yeah.
And then we went down to the Watson headquarters in Bristol.
Yeah.
So I went down and he said, "Can you come with me just to explain what you explained to me?"
Yeah.
Like unilateral pull down is up here. I said, if you just put it there, it would actually be quite good.
Yeah, we've got it. It's actually, you have to sit. You have to lean, or
and then I use a D handle on it.
Yeah.
But I said, if you could,
I want a different one.
Well, yeah, because I just said to him, so you had like a rotating handle that wasn't here; it was just there.
They were there, yeah.
It would actually be quite good.
Yeah, the angle's just a little bit off.
And I so the exact same thing you said is that you were really close.
Yeah, it's just.
But at the last hurdle, you cocked it.
Yeah.
But their shoulder press is here, like really far out, or here.
Or here, yeah.
So why not find a bit
in the middle?
In the middle would be really nice.
Any brand that does a press that has like 90 degrees, 0 degrees. Put a 45 fucking degree handle in it. Prime, I'm looking at you. For the love of fuck, just put one in the middle. Atlantis do it. They do it really well.
Atlantis has a really good shoulder press.
Yeah, Atlantis do it really well because they understand biomechanics. They have got some really weird pieces of kit, though, I will agree with that. But put one in the fucking middle. I did see your video when you were training, your last video, and you had like the animal row with like the long trailing arms. Because we've got that, and that when I first used that,
where the tension drops off completely
when
you're not even at 90 degrees.
However, you can do like a standing lat row with that, and it's fucking great.
That makes a lot of sense because it comes down slightly.
Yeah, you have to you have to shift yourself to the side. The foot plate's at an angle, so you can fucking put your foot into it, and you're locked
sink into it slightly.
And it's fucking great. And,
I like that.
And also because it's so heavy, you put like one plate on it, and it's hard.
Because hammer strength did did a similar one where you did that standing
Yes,
row, but it was so light. You
It's
could
so
put
light,
7 plates
exactly,
on
yes.
it and be like, and here we are.
Yeah, that's the caveat.
Watson used to do a chest press that when you chest press, you would assume that the handle sits in and it's kind of like a flat handle, like so. They did a rotating handle, but the other way, so it rotated like here.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And I was like,
you're like having to fight like older
what's going on?
Like, what the fuck?
So I'm like, what's going on? I was like, a bit of a problem there.
Yeah, again, it's one of those things where I think they've got novelty, and you just
Cocked it.
I think this is the thing where people they have the idea in their head, and then I'm like, cool. Can you stick someone who's strong in this just for a few sets, get feedback, and then go back to the drawing board? Don't just go, oh, it looks all right.
In fairness, I'll give them one thing. Their
T-bar.
T-bar's really good. T-bar's really good,
Fucking
actually.
great T-bar,
I'm pretty sure they made a Mark II because there's one at one gym I used to go to.
Yeah, so we've got.
And it's a bit harder.
Yeah, we've got the Mark II, which is not as heavy and it's a bit more adjustable, I believe.
And it's a bit nicer as well.
Very nice. I love that.
Also, their adjustable hack squat.
With the angle.
That's fantastic.
Love it.
That is good novelty.
Their pendulum as well.
Pendulum's
I really
not
rate
bad.
the pendulum. The new one that adjusts, fantastic. Great. Really rate that. The new seated hamstring curl that we have, I love that.
Yeah,
really
their
nice.
leg extension's not awful. It's just light.
The new ones are okay. I think they're all right. Yeah.
But it's annoying because again, it's a whole novelty thing where sometimes novelty is actually really good. Like the adjustable hack squat. That's novelty.
Fantastic. Yeah.
A great idea.
Yeah.
More like that, please. That I would love.
I think it's like and it's kind of what we talked about earlier, where it's like if I could, there's not really many new pieces of kit I could physically conceive and design. I would just go, I like this.
What's it missing?
Can we just tweak these little bits? Can we just adjust this? Can we just move this here?
Yeah.
It's like the Watson pull down that we have in Fed. Like I actually really like loading it up. But what I would do is essentially, it hasn't got a chest pad. I would be like, right, this seat, be able to slide it backward and forward.
Yeah.
Put a fucking chest pad on top of the seat and be able to bring it a bit more forward and back. And then maybe some way to change the trailing arms, maybe a second loading pin, something like that.
Yeah.
That would be enough. The principle of an arcing pull down, great. Love it. You've done really good. But like I said, it's just, if you did these little things, which in theory are not that hard, they just require a little bit more effort.
And that's where you lost it.
Exactly, yeah. That's exactly where we lost it.
The thing is, like, Watson cables are very smooth. I'll give them that. I like their cables.
Oh, I love the cables.
They're just really. They break quite a lot. So I'll give them that. But
is that just because you load the fuck out?
That actually might be user error.
Yeah,
I'm not going to come for Watson for that. Actually, might be a me problem. But the cables themselves incredibly smooth and well designed. As in, like, they're sturdy.
Yeah, no, I do agree with that.
You can't fight the quality.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know it's a bit inconsistent because obviously it's all handmade.
Also, this is a really weird bias to me. Even though it's fun loading up a machine, I quite like when a machine's pretty heavy and I'm like, I don't have to fucking load loads of plates on this.
I'm glad you said that because it got to the point in my lifting career where I literally thought the same thing. Is I love a machine that I had to put as little weight on as possible.
Yeah.
My ego hates it, but the fact I have to put 22 plates on a leg press. I timed it once.
I think about the time it took to do
the Watson squat press.
Right, okay,
It stacked out my old gym at 11 plates a side.
Right.
And I was doing that for like heel to my gooch, like 12 reps. And to unload it, going around both sides, and obviously I don't unload too many because I flipped their shoulder press once. I took off 4 plates on one side, the whole shoulder press flipped.
Oh fuck! I did this. We've got the primal strength for 3-day row. It's based off the Rogers row.
Yeah.
Primal strength. I don't know what you make your kit with, but it's light as fuck. So
paper.
It's honestly, I can load like 6.5 plates on it, which for
want
someone
one.
like me, like everyone looks at me going, "What the fuck?" But it's just a very light machine.
He's just very strong.
And my back strength is pretty fucking good. But like obviously it's not bolted down. I took like 4 plates and it literally went.
Yeah.
And I had to go. Shit.
There's a girl who, a friend of mine, was like stood next to it, and it literally went. And I was like, I'm so sorry. But things like that is, if I have to load, so it took me to unload the squat press 6 minutes.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Cardio for you.
I was sweating. That's what I did at the end of my workout when I was as weak as possible when I could leave.
This is exactly why I've put the lat row at the end, because I'm like, cool, I'll have done 2 to 3 of the pull exercises, a little bit of tricep and delta, we'll be fine. I'm just like, still 6 plates. This is fucking ridiculous.
The only movement I want to load up heavy, because it's the only movement people actually care about how much you lift on, is any pressing variation.
Yeah, press, absolutely.
If you see someone pull down, no one gives a shit how many plates you have pulled on. But if they see any press, I'm like, So we do that first.
Maybe like a row. Like a row's a bit more kind of.
Valid.
If you do a heavy row, people are like, actually, that's pretty.
It's more like a meathead thing.
Yeah, it's pretty
like,
fucking cool.
Go on then.
Yeah.
But
it's like you load up like 4 or 5 plates on like one of those prime rows. Everyone's like, okay, he can. Yeah, he's pretty fucking strong.
He might
like a T-bar, you know.
He might take protein powders.
Yeah.
he might inject protein.
He takes creatine.
Someone sent me a message once saying, "Why are you promoting creatine? That's steroids." And I was like, "Hang on a second." I was like,
do you remember we talked about people being dumb?
Yeah. I was like, for a second, you for a split second, you're like, is this real? Yeah. Like, you almost reply like, who paid you? Are you okay? I think that's wild. But who else? Hammer strength. That's what I would say.
Okay.
Hammer strength are, I'd say Watson a mid tier.
Yeah, I would give Watson mid tier. Yeah,
maybe the lower end.
Really good ones. There's some really mid misses, but like even with the ones that are a bit weird, you could probably tweak them a little bit to make them better.
Yeah, some of their good is actually really good.
Yeah, no, I rate it. Yeah, I rate it.
Hammer strength, similar thing. Some of their good is really good. Some of their bad is pretty bad. Do you not see it got discontinued, but they had that.
What, the really tall transformer one?
The leg press, we had to climb up onto it.
There's one in Flex, yeah.
Oh, good.
There's one in Flex.
That's the worst thing I've ever seen. Yeah. And like you're like 7 foot off the ground.
Yeah.
If you fall, you'll see.
The lever's like 3 of you.
Honestly, like it's.
I actually know a bodybuilder who had that in one of their preps because it was the only thing that didn't hurt their back.
Fair enough.
And it's just one of the things where it's like, you know what, I can't, like, hip press hurt, leg press, hacks, or whatever it was. And they were like, actually, I'm just going to fucking try this. And whatever, I can't rationalise anything about it. I'm not using it myself. But I'm like, you know what, fuck it. If it feels good and you can use it and you can overload it.
That's a great reason to do it.
Then I'm like, I can't, that's one thing with bodyweight, I can't say anything about that.
If it actually works for what you need it to work for, fair enough. I can't
especially in prep when you're just like, I just need to retain muscle here.
I need to just exist.
Yeah, I just need to just like keep my legs like not withering away while I'm in a ridiculous deficit. So I'm like, yeah, fair enough. But yeah, there's only like 100 of them or 200. It's a couple hundred of them, I think. There's not many, but they have been discontinued.
It failed miserably.
I'll give them credit for making it.
That's real novelty.
Like, because they took a chance, and I'm not gonna. And like some old school gyms still have it, and some people still love it. So
they basically saw like the Ford F-150 like pickup truck, and they were like, "How can I make that a machine?" And then suddenly they actually did because it's huge.
Yeah. I don't mind hammer strength too much. It's like I think some of the resistance profiles are a little bit. They're just challenging, and you have to kind of modify. Yeah.
Well, it's because they get heavier.
Which is like, and it's kind of the things that. Like I understand the concept of that. Like sometimes it's actually okay if you got like a jacked up shoulder and you can't get into extension.
Yeah.
Hammer strength's actually a sick brand to use.
Yeah.
And like I use that example on the Prime all the time when people come in and they go, "Oh, my shoulder hurts." I'm like, "Cool, load the fucking bottom pin for a bit." And I'm like, "Yeah, but it doesn't match resistance profile." I'm like, "Okay, does it hurt when you have your arm behind you?" Yes. Okay. Unload it there a little bit, and then press, and they're like, "Oh, this feels great." I'm like, "Oh, there we go." Hammer strength is exactly the fucking same.
Yeah.
So that's what I say to people: like, it's not the end of the world. But then, or the opposite is a dumbbell press. So if you don't want to do it, do a fucking.
That's the other thing I thought. Knows Watson dumbbells. Whoever made them lied to me. They are heavy.
They are fucking heavy.
If they see,
we've got the primal strength ones. Fully rate them. The one that we press. But like we've got the Watson dumbbells, the 70 kilos one. I don't know why. I don't know who decided this, but I don't know why new Watson dumbbells, the knurling is like a fucking cheese grater.
I like it. That's good. Yeah, because it means I get sweaty hands.
Yes, you get sweaty as we have discussed.
I got clammy hands.
As we have discussed.
I'm like gripping on.
It's fucking ridiculous.
You know that video of Ronnie Coleman dumbbell pressing at 200-pound dumbbells?
Something stupid like that. Yeah.
Imagine that, but I reckon if he had 70 kilos, which was 150 pounds, Watson dumbbells he wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Too heavy. Watson dumbbells are really heavy.
They are.
They say they're 70 kilos. I reckon they're 700.
I might actually do that. Bring the scale downstairs and just see if we can try.
But what I don't want is us to find out that they're actually perfectly weighted and every other dumbbell press I've used is light, because then I'll
that would actually be heartbreaking.
Because I've pressed the 70s many years ago for 6, and if I found out they're actually like 52s or something,
if I pressed the 45s for like 8 and I was like, they're actually 41 and a half.
I'd never post again. I'd never post I'd cancel myself. I'd do a video.
Or I would just never film the number of the dumbbell again. I'd just be like, this was 50s.
I'd move country. Like I'd
move to America where it's in pounds. There you go.
That actually makes me feel a lot more secure about myself.
Yeah, when you see 150 instead of.
I remember I saw a video of like. This is where it came from, because I never ever did the conversion because you never need to.
Yeah.
I saw a video of like Nick Walker dumbbell pressing like the 150s.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the most incredible thing I've ever seen. And I worked out, I was like 67 kilos.
67, yeah.
I was like, wow, we got 70s, let's do that. I did that for 6. I was like, must not ever tell me I'm incredible. I was like, I'm really pissed off.
It's just because it's over 100. That's all it is.
honestly, we just need a load of trend for this. For legal reasons, can't do that. Actually, not allowed that.
Yeah, let's not go through that.
I'll be out the window.
Yeah, let's not do that. Yeah,
but no, the thing I don't like about the only issue I have with hammer strength is their leg kit is very hit or miss. They've got a squat press, which is just dumb.
They have a squat press?
Not a squat press, a hack press. Sorry.
Oh, what, like the upright hip press?
The one that is like you're like this, and you.
Yes, hip press. Yeah. I call that hip press, but yeah, fair.
I call it the best calf raise ever. So I say. They've got their plate loaded line leg curl. Dumb.
Oh, so the plate loaded leg kit, plate loaded leg extension as well. Yeah, it's not amazing. Pin loaded stuff's all right.
The pin loaded stuff's good.
Yeah, I like the pin loaded.
Like Life Fitness pin loaded stuff is also.
I think they're bought like they're under the same company, so they're the same design. Similar. They're very much the exact same design.
The V squat, stupid. If you have a V squat in your gym,
V squat's shit.
Stupid piece of.
Oh, they've got the like upright hack squat, which is just like.
Oh, I've not seen that.
So it's basically like a hack squat, but you start at 90 degrees hip.
I bet it's miserable.
It's so bad. Which is like it's not horrible. I think it's just.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's just not a very good hack squat. But like a lot of companies now have hack squats, which you put the pad up so you can do it if you want to. Like I used to use it as a calf raise, which is actually all right.
We like that.
Because there is obviously just a calf raise machine like that. I think Watson had one. But yeah, it was not amazing. Like I think Joe Bennett called it like the poopy hack squat, something like that.
That's quite good.
Which is something that Joe Bennett.
Yeah,
which is pretty spot on. Trying to think what else they've got. I've actually tried.
They've got one of those 90-degree pec flies.
Yes, they do.
That just feels awful. But
they
I also have their mobile.
Do you know they had a jammer? You know, like for like athletic and triple extension work.
Oh, I bet that looks.
It was so we had one in the gym I worked at, and it was full of sport-specific personal trainers. Right?
Stop that.
They got rid of it because no one used it.
The people
and,
got rid of it.
And they're like, "Oh, how are we going to train triple extension?" I'm like, "Here's a barbell.
Yeah.
Go use that sports conditioning qualification and actually maybe do something with it."
But that would imply they learned something.
Well, that would also imply they know what triple extension is.
Also implies that they are actually sport specific.
I was going to say.
In reality, when most people say they're sport specific coaches, they have an interest in a sport and they're qualified PT.
Exactly.
I watch football every weekend, so I'm
sport specific. Absolutely. Yeah.
I actually don't watch football. To clarify, if I watch cardio, I get out of breath. It's hard work to me.
Sounds about right for you.
That's actually so valid. They've got some there. Their Smith machine. Everyone hates it. I really like it.
Angled one, isn't it?
Yeah, I really like it.
I liked it. Yeah, I liked it.
I think it was great because it's got thick handle.
So when I trained in gym box, it was mostly hammer strength. But I loved that. I thought it was great. It's not that smooth. I mean, it might be the ones I've used. They weren't like.
There is some notable cross.
There is resistance within that. Yeah, but it's still decent.
It's also quite light as well, which I like.
I do remember it being light.
That's why we like it.
Yeah, that's why we like it.
Think about that. Their lie down shoulder pressing.
Life Fitness are the exact same one. Really smooth, fucking great.
So basically, Life Fitness one's better.
Yeah, Life Fitness one's way better. Old gym PT I used to work at. It's unbranded Smith machine, light and angled, but I'm pretty sure it is a Life Fitness one. It is the best Smith machine I've ever used.
On the China brands, because there was one that
probably wouldn't surprise me.
That was they model the Smith machine after hammer strength. And the reason I know that is because they gave you with the machine. I saw it. Hammer strength stickers that were spelt incorrectly. It's like hammer strength or something. And then all like the warning, do not do this, was just horrendous spelling mistakes.
Like you get like knockoff band T-shirts like Malatica or something like that, and you're like.
It's like their Slayer just slapper or something.
Fuck's sake.
But like I remember seeing that, I was like, hang on a second. I was like, you know when you look at something for too long and you think you can't spell the word anymore?
Yeah.
I was like, I definitely can't spell it.
I know what
so I googled it. I was like, there's spelling mistakes there. I kind of like 7 spelling mistakes to the whole warning thing. Instructions were instructions, and I was like,
who's got away with this?
I showed it to the guy. I was like, have you seen this? He goes, no. I was like, isn't that legal to pretend it's like a brand that it's not?
It's definitely not the same brand.
No, now it's not anyway. That's probably why they did. It wasn't spelling mistakes, it was actually novelty.
Exactly, yeah.
What other good brands? I've got a few of my top tier brands.
Sticking on Life Fitness, some of the older Life Fitness Pro models are insane. Like the Life Fitness old school hamstring curl, like that's fucking insane. The one Flex have got it. Quite a lot of the old school
Life Fitness in general are actually.
I think
their pin loaded stuff is really.
I really rate Life Fitness. Like
their cables are good as well.
The cable's really nice.
Really
It's like
nice.
smooth 4:1 ratio. Yeah.
Their pull down, not massive fan of it. It's quite light. You can stack it quite easily. But I think that might be older ones. I don't know.
It's like that's another brand that some leisure centres do stock. They're usually the more expensive ones like David Lloyd and stuff like that. And
That's good.
They're actually pretty
But
decent.
David Lloyd also like hammer strength as well.
They do like, but again, I'm sure they're owned by the same umbrella company. I'm pretty sure Life Fitness acquired Cybex recently. I'm not sure who owns who, but I'm pretty sure Life Fitness is the main company. They own Hammer Strength. I don't know if I'm right on
They
that.
all look so similar.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm correct on that.
I went to that NRG gym.
Yes, that's right. You did. Yeah.
Yeah, and that it was almost a bit
Hammer
like
Strength, isn't it? Yeah.
Hammer Strength, Life Fitness,
Yeah.
and something else. But I was like, it's like Buzz Gym. You ever heard of Buzz Gym?
We went to the one in Cannon Street in London. It used to be Gym Box. It's sick.
Honestly,
it's actually really good.
Like Buzz Gym are like Pure Gym.
Yeah.
But imagine if Pure Gym was made by someone who actually gets training to some
What kit
degree.
do they usually have?
Hammer Strength, Watson, and Alico.
Yeah, so
and
that's
Gym 80.
Yeah, so that's what the
And Life Fitness.
Really?
It's like there's one that's open just near me. It's got Alico bumpers, Hammer Strength plate loaded stuff, Gym 80 bits and bobs, and loads of Life Fitness and a couple of Watson bits.
So that's
It's not
what
bad.
there was a gym box in Cannon Street which I think went bust over COVID basically, and they had one down the road which was bang. Buzz Gym bought that. It's £40. They kept all the Eleco stuff, all the CrossFit stuff, added all the Watson kit in.
It's not bad.
It's a sick gym, like central London, £40, and you get full conditioning, CrossFit, like powerlifting, bodybuilding. It's
That puts
actually
in
really
perspective.
good. Huh?
The Buzz Gym that's open near me,
It's like £20.
it's $14.99 for the first 3 months. It's like $19.99 afterwards.
hell.
And it's got free parking and
That's
everything.
insane.
Oh, so
In
I think-
comparison to Cannon Street.
Yeah, and you're like, when you say 40 quid, I'm like, that's normal
Like,
gym
gym
price.
box is like £100, I believe, or something like that. Yeah.
Third space is like 250, isn't it?
Yeah, it depends on which one you go to. I think
the-
Canary Wharf was like 170 when I was there.
My sister used to go to one that was like the 250 one. I was like, but you've
Where
never
was
been.
that? Where was that?
Somewhere in London, I don't
So,
know. She
right, yeah.
used to do the London Life, and I said to her, I was like, "You have a gym membership?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Have you ever actually been?" She's like, "I went to the spa once." I was
Yeah,
like,
I was about to say.
"Shut
yeah.
your mouth."
I've seen like those like gym skits where it's like what your gym says about you, and like the one I've seen for David Lloyd is like you pay the amount of money and you justify it by thinking you'll like start networking with people,
Yeah.
and you've not met a single fucking person.
You
in the
talk to
gym.
anyone, you're socially anxious, and you just sit there.
Exactly, like. Ugh.
Also, third space have a lot of techno gym.
Yeah, so when I worked there, they had Cybex, Technogym, Hammer Strength, a few of the pieces. They replaced all the Technogym with Pulse, which is basically just slightly better Technogym. Some really good pieces, actually, Pulse
Okay,
have.
we like that. That could be still in bottom tip, but
They
very
still,
higher
have
up.
that, they still have a fucking leg curl with the pad below the knee, though.
That's just dumb.
Which is ridiculous.
That's actually just
One of my clients is a leisure centre in Liverpool. He's actually got quite a few Pulse pieces. They are actually quite nice, but it's just like, again, you've missed the fucking mark. And you could have been
You
so
were
much
this
better.
close. Also, Technogym cardio. We're not. This is like resistance training stuff. We're not talking about cardio. Cardio is cardio. If you cock up a treadmill, you need to go to therapy.
There are definitely people who have...
You can't. Surely you just run.
you just run.
Yeah, surely like if you cock up a treadmill, just go outside.
I don't know. I bet you there are some really bad ones. I don't know how.
You get some
I don't know how
narrow
you measure treadmills against each
One's
other.
like this long or like this narrow. Because I've like a bit of an irrational thing. I hate treadmills.
I've
They
ran on
overfall
treadmills
often.
before, and I've definitely noticed something like when your foot hits the treadmill, you're like, I'm gonna break this thing if I keep doing this.
I can't run straight. I say run. I
Can't
can't
run
walk.
straight.
I can't walk straight on them. I go like this. I just literally go left
You're
and
just
right.
like pissed or something.
I walk like I'm drunk. I almost like do an S curve, and I'm like, I'll consciously really try to focus on going forward, and I actually just go like this,
Straight line.
and I have to hold on. I'm like, what's going on? I think I might actually, maybe I'm actually unwell. To be honest,
Yeah, maybe that's a good point.
But sorry,
Yeah.
Techno Gym, it's not your fault. It's
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah, it's actually yeah. There's nothing to do with the gym brand at all. It's just you.
Yeah, actually, I'm just projecting my insecurities
Yeah.
onto a brand that doesn't deserve the hate.
Yeah. So hamstring and Life Fitness, I will say and Watson, I'll say you're pretty good. Like you can get a lot out.
They're
of them.
banging the mid tier.
Yeah,
I'd
I
say.
think they're really good mid tier.
There's. I feel like who else is in mid tier? There's got to be someone else. There's got to be quite a few.
There's quite a lot of brands. Like I've spoken to, like Primal Strength's a very, very big one in the UK. Some bits I like, some bits I'm like, what the fuck have you done with this?
Arsenal thingy, they're quite good.
Arsenal's actually, I've not used many of their
The
kit.
ones I
but
have used are
I've
good.
got clients who have them.
Prequel. Where do we feel about Prequel? Because I've got an opinion that might not align with people's.
So I'm pretty sure older Precore was decent.
Yeah.
New Precore is dog shit. So when I say new, I trained in Easy Gym in London in 2018. They had, it was quite old, it had been used a lot because it's a budget gym.
Yeah,
All
good.
Precore kit. God, it was dog shit.
Was it that
It was like
bad?
worse hammer strength.
Because I hear a lot of people, bodybuilders, go, oh, Prequel's amazing. I've
Old
used a few
school
bits,
Precore was actually pretty decent.
but most of the old school kit is just battered now. You can't use it.
Yeah,
because it gets
Flex
neglected.
has got like a pre-core preacher. And like it's very good condition. And you look at it and you go, okay, I can tell you're built well. But like I've used it and I'm like, it's just a preacher. The pre-core T-bar row is really nice.
I've only used their leg stuff.
Which one? The leg stuff.
Like their leg curl, leg extension stuff.
I don't know.
The leg curl is the seat to leg curl is very aggressively.
Was it heavy in the short or was it?
It's very lengthened. Obviously, it should be, but it's
really heavy.
And I was like,
you're like, oh my god.
And also, it cuts off ROM quite drastically. Like you're obviously
can you not fully extend?
It's more the other way. You can't with the Cybex like leg curl. You can actually get quite far under.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah.
I love it. Fantastic.
Yeah.
But the pre-core one, it kind of stops you like here. Which I know is more lengthy, but I still feel like I'm missing like a good foot of ROM, and I'm like.
So I used the Cybex Eagle leg curl, the proper Eagle one, for the first time last week in Ultraflex. Oh my god!
My gym. It's great.
So good. Because like, the gym I used to train out in London, they had the NX one, which is like a more compact dog shit in comparison. Absolute dog shit.
It's the seat leg. It's actually relatively heavy, which is good. The leg extension's banging as well. They've got a cracking leg extension. So, same thing. The Eagle leg extension, the dirty white one, where you're like, this is old. Cracking. Also, they're cheap as well. My gym owner bought them for like £600 each.
Really?
So that's not bad. In good condition, it's not bad.
Yeah,
it's not bad. They're cracking, but I know some of the newer stuff from Cybex is not so.
Yeah, I'm trying to, because from what I was aware, since Life Fitness bought Cybex, they've kind of redone some of their kit. I did see it. Someone else I know who's done work with Cybex has posted a few videos. I'm not really sure. It's like it's called a new Life Fitness range where they basically remodeled old Cybex. But like all that shit now is like gold dust. Like if you find like a second-hand Cybex piece, like just fucking buy it and put it in the garage somewhere.
Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, honestly, Facebook Marketplace is so good for shit like that.
All you have to do is spend £100 getting it reupholstered, and it's literally new again.
Pay for someone to go pick it up in a van. Just bite the bullet. Like go do it yourself. Fuck, it's gonna be horrible. It's gonna be heavy as fuck, but just do it.
Any van.
They
were great. When I moved house, they were so cheap.
There you go, perfect.
The whole thing was like £100 for move the whole house. Like, what?
Just pay for the pallets, done.
Honestly, dream.
Yeah.
But so I'd say we should probably actually mention that Cybex, great brand, top tier. I'd say
top tier. Have got some pieces. I'm like, why have you made this? But I would say still top tier.
Well, just because something's top tier, I feel like we should preface this. Doesn't mean we like all of their stuff. It's bottom tier is they have more bad stuff than good.
Yeah.
Top tier is they have far more good stuff than bad, and their good stuff is really good.
Yeah. At least the bad stuff isn't too bad either.
Yeah. At least a mid tier, it was either shocking or really good. Like, so it's a bit more variance there, but top tier, I'd say Cybex is definitely top tier.
Cybex are Nautilus as well. Yeah. When I say Nautilus, not Star Trek, which Nautilus have just bought about a year and a half ago. Fucking hate Star
Like when they had the old Nitro range. And
like the old Nitro range, even like the MedX range as well, they have. That's fucking brilliant. There's not many bad Nautilus pieces.
They've got, again, not everything is good. There are a couple of things.
Again, they've got the seated leg cover with the fucking Pablo in the knee, which I don't understand.
Absolutely dumb. Grow up, whoever made that. Honestly, bring him in for episode 3. I'll talk to him. Another Prime, obviously.
Yeah,
we've already discussed this, but this is gonna be
the thing is, like, everyone raves about Prime, and like I think Prime is actually the brand I've used the most of from so many gyms, and I'm like, there aren't many. I'm like, wow, I'm really looking forward to using this. The plate-loaded upright row, like the one that you and I use.
Yes,
fucking love that.
Yeah.
I quite like the Prime incline press. However, I am fucking convinced. I don't know if they have 2 different types. Some are wider than others. And the wide ones are shit. They're just too fucking wide. The one that we have is great.
Yeah.
I've used the exact same Prime incline at different gyms, and I'm like, why am I starting out here?
There's definitely a Mark II. It's like the Watson T-Bar. There's definitely like a hidden Mark II.
They've changed the angle a little bit, so it starts. I don't know what it is, but it's like a luck of the draw thing.
Yeah.
But like, a lot of their stuff, I'm like, oh, this looks good. And obviously, Prime remodeled Strive or bought Strive, and like some of the old Strive pieces are insane. And they've basically made the exact same machine, except instead of 9 settings on the cam, which by the way is fucking incredible, they put it to 5. Which I'm like, okay, well, just put the 9 on. It's great to have more variety within that. Some of the pieces, I'm like, I think you're good, but you're not that good, because not that you're not that good, you're still actually fantastic, but there are so many pieces where everyone's like, oh, this is the best like back kit or whatever kit I've used, and it's Prime. I'm like, I bet you I can find one better.
Yeah.
I bet you that isn't £8,000.
Oh, expensive.
Yeah.
The other thing to know is that The issue that I initially developed with not so much Prime, but the Prime users was that Prime got
Prime users was the issue, not Prime actually. Prime are actually great. It's the people using it.
Same thing is that I think Prime personally top tier, but still overrated.
Agreed.
Because a lot of the users were the heavy TikTok users that said, "Oh my god, you can load it in different
and they've got
ranges."
No idea what that means.
But then you also say like, but. First of all, do you need that? 99% of people, probably not, let's be honest. Secondly, do you understand that?
Yeah.
Probably not. They're like, oh, but this loads lengthened. I was like, why are you loading lengthened on everything?
Yeah, it's really funny to, especially on my aspect, because I see a lot of the bodybuilding programs and everyone's like, oh mate, this will be so good. We'll get you on the Prime kit and it's going to be so great for your training. How do you want me to load it? 75% top pin, 25% middle pin, and everyone just does the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. So basically, it may as well not have the variability to load it in those different positions in the first place.
I think we know that obviously certain muscles are particularly weaker in certain areas, like certain ranges. So for example, we know that like pressing patterns, most people get, like we found with the hammer strength stuff, will get quite weak towards.
It all depends if they converge or not as well. That's the other thing.
It'll probably get quite weak towards the lockout. So you can kind of simplify that quite easily. Like, okay, we'll probably make the lockout lighter, but flip around. If you know that bench pressing, for example, you're really weak at lockout, actually quite nice to actually flip it the other way and load that.
There's loads of things you can do that. Yeah, exactly.
But people don't think about. They just think, literally. Probably like 50, 30, 20, 75, 25, nothing.
And to segue into a pro for Prime that I love is like, if you know that, you can do so much with your programming. It's like
you will never need to swap out.
Honestly, it's fucking great. Like I've had like the Prime incline on twice in 1 week, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's the same exercise." I'm like, it's fucking not. Because I can load the resistance differently. I can load it at a different point in the session. So if we're looking from that kind of like muscle first perspective, which if we're bodybuilding, then fuck yeah, we need to do. I'm like, it's a different exercise. So I'm like, that's great. You can't do that with. I mean, you can probably put a band on a press, I guess, but then you've got like adjusting the band and all that shit. No one wants to fucking do that. No one can be asked.
People are lazy. Let me be lazy.
Let me turn the thing on the peg, and then just like, right, okay, this is 5 this week. We're going 1 this week. Done.
Thing is, with things like that, where you have so much variance between like resistance profiles, is that you essentially, to an extent, may never need to take it out because you could make it like 5 different movements if you just do it properly. Because if it's an incline press and you can change resistance profile, what more could you actually ask for? Because it's a great incline press at a great angle. The only thing you would look from a different incline press is maybe a different resistance profile. Do it all in one place.
Literally, the one we've got, like I can't see myself, doing a programming phase without it.
If it's not broken,
it's always going to be good. Like, unless it goes, oh, this really is killing my shoulder for no reason. I'll leave it.
Yeah, that's valid though. You actually have a good justification rather than what most people do is, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, why do you swap out? I don't know actually.
Gymlico. Have you tried any of them stuff?
I have tried some of their stuff.
What do you think?
Some bits were really good.
Yeah. And some bits like, what the fuck?
So I used one of their like single arm pull down things.
Yeah.
And it was really small.
Was it one that we had?
No, this was
really?
this is a gym near me.
Right.
Really old, like it was probably one of the earlier kits. But it was really narrow.
Right.
The handle was about this thin.
That's about right.
And I was like, hang on a second. I was like gripping my own hand. I was gripping myself, and it was really light but horrendously aggressive in a very specific, like the length condition. Literally. This much of the length of range was unbearable. It was like, man. I was like, I literally couldn't move it. Then it was like, and I was like, hang on a second. Hit or miss.
Yeah.
I say it could go either way.
Like when the press, everyone started getting the press, I was like, this is the best chest press ever. And then
is that the flat one?
Yeah. 3 months later, everyone's like, oh, I keep fucking up my pec and my shoulder because it's so fucking heavy in the lengthened. Yeah. And I have to kind of say to people like, and I got to the point where I was like doing 4 plates on it, which is quite heavy for that. Yeah. And like my right pec tendon was just for 4 weeks just
pissed off.
It just fucking hated it.
Inflamed.
And like I know loads of people like I was speaking to like in the UK and like Asia and like stuff like that who were like, this is great. And then about 3 or 4 months later, so around now, we're all like, don't really rate it that as much. I don't think it's bad, but I'm like, I think we just overused it a bit too much because of the novelty.
I think that's one of the bits of kit that I always didn't. Everyone used to say, "Oh, it's amazing," and it's one of the ones where I always kind of say, maybe I'm doing something wrong. But the same sort of thing is, it was so aggressive in the length of like. Obviously, you want like a bit of a drop, like quite
but not
smooth.
that much.
Yeah, it was literally like, as in, I can't move this and it's this.
Especially when it's still diverging, and you're like, "Oh my god, I do not have leverage in this position. It needs to be lighter here, not heavier."
I felt like I was ripped my pec. Yeah, and I was like, and I thought it was me. I thought maybe I was just being
no, this is even me. Yeah,
but so I say some of their kit can be top tier.
I used their hip press in Ultraflex. Beautiful. Very compact, really good. Someone else I know has got their plate-loaded hip thrust, apparently really nice. Their preacher curl's really nice. Plate-loaded pet fly is the dumbest fucking thing in the world. You're lying back. I just don't know who.
Isn't there one at
No, I think we have got. Yeah, we have got one. I hate it.
I've never used
I'm
it.
very open about how much I hate it.
I've never used it because it looks a bit dumb.
It's dumb. Arsenal have got one. Well, I just think they're fucking dumb.
Novelty though.
Novelty, yeah. And I'm like, I would just do a pec fly or a dumbbell fly or a cable fly. I just
Also, the standard like pin-loaded pec deck fly is actually just good.
segueing back. Prime, their pec deck reverse pec fly, my favourite.
Oh no, that is quite good.
Love that. Honestly, I pick that over anyone. It's one of those things like. We talked about like building our own gym. I could never have all of one thing because I'm like, I know this is the best one. I'm getting this piece.
That's the thing.
I would have to have that prime pec deck. I'd have to have like the citadel pull down, stuff like that.
I look for that in gyms, so I don't look for a gym that's just a prime gym. Because there are quite a few bits of prime kit I actually just don't love.
Yeah, same.
But I look for a gym that has a bit of Atlantis, a bit of Nautilus, a bit of this. Atlantis also quite a good
Atlantis
brand.
is fantastic. Yeah,
they're another top tier brand.
Yeah. I always forget about Atlantis. Yeah, they're fucking great.
Their Atlantis shoulder press set, the
Frontline.
I really like it.
Yeah, I like that.
Because we used the prime one because they had a prime one there as well, and I was like, I don't love this.
So fucking
I was
weird.
like, I don't love this, and then I used the Atlantis one. I was like, I love this. This is good, and also you can load up quite heavy on that. So that's what matters. Because again, it's a press. We go heavy on presses. I was like, this is great. I was like, this feels really smooth.
Yeah.
But I know I haven't used it myself. I've not used much Atlantis kit, but I know some of that kit is a bit crap.
Yeah, like I rate a lot. The T-bar's shit. I think like the new T-bar.
Watson T-bar. There you go. Yeah, fix it.
Well, there you go. This is the thing. Like if I just couldn't. If I was gonna. Like God forbid I get like a shitload of money and like I couldn't build a gym. Exactly. Yeah, I couldn't build a gym based off of we're just going to get this brand because I know it's this brand. I'm like, look, I'm going to get this exact kit because of this exact reason, and then everyone can use it for this purpose.
Yeah.
Or because of a variety of purposes that this one piece of kit can do.
It's one of those things where I think, especially the online world, TikTok will like glorify a brand and be like, this is the best thing in the world. If you don't like Prime, you're dead to me. I'll kill your family, something like that. And then, but no one will actually know why they're meant to like it.
Yeah.
Like, because he said so. Because you can do this. Yeah, but do you think for yourself for a second? Do you like it? Oh no, not really. But I can't say that because I just don't know why.
Well, the other thing is, I think a lot of them don't know how to use it as well.
You did a post on that a while ago. Where you said about
literally. So it was like, because you're loading it here, you're loading it, and it was who was it? I can't remember who it was. It was something like they did a row, like a single arm row with a prime piece of kit, and they were like, I'm loading it in the lengthened, and then they like started it and like pulled it like a good like foot, and then started.
So they basically,
and I'm like, so it's not in the lengthened. Yeah.
So they basically did like almost like a back extension into the mid range, and they're like, haha.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay. So like, I'm like, yes, you have loaded the pin there, the weight on that peg or wherever it is, but that's not the purpose of it. And like when I did that post, like for some reason it just fucking blew up.
I remember that.
Everyone's like, oh yeah, but this is I don't have this piece of kit. I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's like, it's just the pull down.
The thing is, it's because people online will see something wrong with it but not actually know why they're saying it. So it's like I had some say, when I did the Watson thing where I said this is a bit crap, I got people commenting and be like, but every muscle is better in the lengthened position. I was like, it's not actually pull Carter. I may have said that once upon a time, but doesn't it? It's actually true. And I was don't reply anymore because I just get pissed off. But I need to reply. Do you ever thought for yourself for a second, just saying, does every muscle have the same kind of strength? Probably not. A different thing.
Who was it? I did. Right, so we've got a Watson combo. It's the preacher curl tricep extension. Preacher curl's alright. Tricep extensions is just
they usually are a bit crap.
Fucking fit in them.
Even the Cybex one's crap.
Yeah, even the Cybex one's not good. I think the Strive one's that good. I don't even think the Prime one's actually okay. I rate the Prime one.
Okay.
And like I think I did like a really good, not really good post, a post, and I was like, oh, this is really pissing me off. And so I put like, there's like figure 8 straps, the strongman use.
Oh yeah.
I just wrapped it around and did that. I was like, oh, I can just supinate a bit. And someone was like, yeah, but the problem is you're losing out on the lengthen range, which is where all the stimulus is. And I screenshotted that the level of extension I was in, same number, and I was also said, it's a fucking preacher curl. Like, what length and stimulus am I really, really getting while I'm in this much shoulder flexion? Who fucking cares?
Also, when people just hammer the length and range of preacher curls, it's like, how are your tendons feeling? Because
This is. I think this is a big thing. A lot of people
Yeah.
don't have the ability to own those joint ranges, and they're just like, oh,
Yeah.
why is this getting jacked up all the
When
time?
I was
And
18,
I'm
that's how I
like,
jacked up I got rheumatoid tendinitis because I was preach curling, and I was
Literally.
like, let's just get
Like,
a massive stretch.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't curl for about 6 months.
Yeah.
And ever since I was 18, it's never fully gone away.
Yeah, this is like honestly these people basically pay my expenses when they come to me and go, oh, can I get like an injury consult in? Because and I'm like, well, let me look at your program. Let me look at your program. I'm like, cool, yeah. So lengthen partials. Right
Also,
now.
didn't this bunch of research come out recently saying triceps, especially when doing like push down variations and whatnot, are really good in that shortened range?
The problem that I have is just not that it's not important, but it's just
For most people,
it's probably not important.
the way I justify it to most people is this: I say it's really important when you've nailed everything
else.
But I said, do not use, and this is the issue I actually had with like the whole science-based lifting thing. And like, obviously, I love science. We love science.
Yeah.
But the hyper analytical science-based community is great. But most of them, the thing people neglect is most of them actually have a right to be there because they've done this for
They've done it, yeah.
And the one thing that they don't do, which is what a lot of people do, is saying I'm going to do this because it's an optimal movement versus I'm just going to train really hard. Very big discrepancy. This is easy, this is hard.
Yeah.
Learn to train hard because you can do the best movement in the world or the worst movement in the world. I'd rather do the worst movement in the world to sufficient intensity than the best movement in the world to a warm up because that's going to produce a stimulus because of the intensity. Don't use science-based optimization as an excuse not to train hard enough. Learn how to train hard first, nail your food, nail all the other variables, and then you can look for the 1%.
The phrase I consistently use is that 90% of people need to focus on 90% of the priorities. The stuff that you usually see on social media, it's the 10%.
Yeah.
And it's on social media because if you talk about the other 90%, no one's going to fucking read that.
Thing is, Paul Carter cried about this once, and actually, but
He actually cried. There was a video of him in tears. I'll follow him for that. Yeah.
Honestly, I would do. But then he actually had a fair point. Is that the worse the thing is, the more likely it is to gain traction. If you actually tell people that it's actually quite simple, just do this.
Yeah.
No one wants to follow you because of that. And I was
that.
like, it's actually. I even said to myself, I said I could probably grow quite a big following, selling my soul, pushing the most stupid shit.
Yeah.
But I then have to almost completely alter just my morals.
Yeah.
Of like, I couldn't program people.
Some people can do that really well.
Yeah, I can name a few. Honestly, maybe we will next time.
More than a few.
Yeah, maybe we will. Honestly, if you're thinking of a name, you're probably right.
You get out a scroll and you're like, right, these are all the fucking names.
Where are you, Atheline X? Sorry, I had to.
Oh god, I forgot about him.
I was going to say Brett Contreras. Actually, he doesn't really do that much stupid shit. He just blocked me. Yeah, 'cause I called him a predator.
I mean,
Joey Swole blocked me as well.
Oh god, I hate him.
Who else hasn't blocked me? Honestly, Julia Renee, bodybuilder, blocked me.
I don't even know who that is.
Sam Sweeney blocked me. She actually called me a CUNT and threatened to get lawyers involved, and her husband got involved as well. So I called me a horrible word as well.
Oh, nice, lovely.
To which I just said, I think maybe maybe something I've said has actually applied to you.
I think I've touched a nerve.
All I said was, if it upsets you, it probably applies to you.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's just simple. Because I literally just said, if you have 110% natty in your bio, it's a bit of a red flag. That's all I said. And they were like, how dare you?
It's a bit of a red flag.
And they're like, you're small, you're weak. I was like, I bench 5 plates. I was like, how much do you bench? Shut up.
I was going to say, if you're the standard of small and weak.
I felt pretty. I think the thing I find quite funny, I actually do this on purpose now, is I never show my I always film on YouTube high down so I look smaller, and because it's quite fun.
So you look like 5'7" or something like that.
And everyone just comes at me like, you're pathetic. And I just send them videos of me benching, and they just don't reply. If I used to get really bad DMs about it, but you're so weak. How dare you shit on these people? What do you do? And I just send them this was years ago. I sent them my first ever 4-plate bench, and they just.
I remember that video.
I love it. I edited the YouTube video in LA at 3 a.m.
I remember that exact video.
My friends were sleepy in front of me. I'm like,
was that 2018, 2017?
Oh, was it? I'll tell you when it was. It was.
No, a bit earlier maybe.
I benched 4 plates for the first time 2017.
2017, yeah.
I did it in August 2017, the week before we went to LA, because I remember this. Phil, old gym owner, he doesn't like me. Shock. I joined the gym. We actually used to go really well, and I said to him, I bench about 160 now. I want to try and get to 180 before I'm 24. Because I was junior.
Was that what it was? Okay, fair.
And this was in February. And he's like, "You're not going to put 20 kilos on your bench in 6 months." I was like,
I fucking am.
If I gain weight, I will. So I just ate loads of food. I gained weight, and in 6 months, I put 20 kilos on my bench. and I was still a junior, and that's all I wanted.
That's fair. Just to say you've done that.
Yeah, and I remember at the time the IPF record for Britain was like 180 as well. So
okay, fair.
For juniors, I was like, obviously now it's like 200.
I don't want to know what it is now.
I retired from powerlifting because I realised that as people get stronger, I realised how bad I actually was. And I was like, oh, you're quite strong. I was like, no.
Powerlifting now is like the scariest fucking sport.
The standard.
Like, I can't imagine being a junior in powerlifting now. The stress you must be under.
Do you know what's matter? I coach a guy, I'll shout him out, Marcis. He's a great kid.
Yeah.
He turned 17 this year.
Yeah.
So this summer. So he's not even halfway through his 17. He weighs like probably, he'll compete in the under 105s.
Yeah.
So he's a sub-junior and he's in shit PR, Larry Will's PR brand. I don't know if they're good, but I probably assume shit knee sleeves. He just squatted 300 kilos with calibrated plates to depth, naturally.
I don't know
and he's been training this is his third year of training.
I don't know where these kids who were born like after 2000, I don't know what chemical hit like the water. I don't know what happened, but I swear the standard of most sports, not even just part of like bodybuilding as well. I'm like, where the fuck have these kids come from?
I remember I first met him, and he looks like, and I struggle with this because obviously, and I'll hold my hand up. This is when I'm coaching him, I sometimes get a little bit impatient because I forget he's so young because he looks like a grown man. He's stronger than like many people ever dream of.
Yeah.
He looks like he's built like a shithouse. He's a big dude. He looks like a grown man, and then I completely forget he's not day 17. And I'm thinking, how do you not remember this? And I literally think to myself, hang on a second.
You weren't born.
I was literally like, he's 17, and no, he's a smart dude. Don't get me wrong. He's a smart dude. He's got a good head on him. He's a great guy, but at 17, however smart you are, you're still only 17. You've only developed so much.
Yeah.
And when you talk to him, like, you're a teenager. That's on me. Like, I need to.
You are a child.
Yeah, I literally think I'm like, look.
You are a freak, but you are a child.
He's a mutant.
You are a child. Yeah.
But I've got his cheat code. I know why it is. I reckon his parents did this on purpose. He's diabetic. It's a trap. It's a trap. His parents, they knew he came out because he's like, I think he's Latvian. So they were like, hang on a second, you're going to be diabetic now. So he takes insulin because he has to, otherwise he will literally die.
He's probably got ligaments like steel wire as well.
He was walking around just a box of sweets every training session, and he's just eating them constantly. I was like, "What are you doing?" He goes, I'm diabetic. I was like, "How?"
Like me fucking bollocks.
And he shows me his little his thing where you get like the Nova Rapid constant injection thing. He's like, "I'm this diabetic." I was like, "Oh, you're the real diabetic." And then I was like, "No wonder you're so strong. You're jabbing the most anabolic hormone 50 times a day." And he's like,
"There we go."
And he's like. And someone made a point to me, and I actually had to kind of argue for him here. Oh, he's cheating because he's on insulin. I was like, but rationalise this. Would you rather be diabetic so you can lift a bit more, or just not be diabetic and not risk dying every single day?
All the time.
Yeah.
When you are at that point, it is fucking dangerous.
Yeah, he literally risks death every day, and you think it's a cheat code. It's not really for lifting, absolutely, but for just quality of life, it's probably not
probably not the worst. Yeah, and you're in the gym 4 or 5 hours a week. Like the rest of it, you still have to live.
Try not to die, basically. Because he'll come in and he'll train. Oh, sorry to leave. What happened? He goes, blood sugar just dropped. Awful. I was like, that's actually must be really shit, man. I was like, I know, I'll knock you for being a cheater.
Just get knocked instantly.
Also, the IPF are really funny. Not saying how I know this for legal reasons, no comment. If your coach or handler, your coach and handler gets drug tested. If they drug test you,
I have heard of
they drug test your coach as well, which I think is dumb. Because I know a lot of guys who are like really good powerlifters, who are obviously enhanced, who are great coaches, and a lot of their competitors are in the IPF because, again, they're still great coaches just because they just aren't natural. And they can't go to any of their comps because they will get drug tested. And if they get drug tested and they fail, they're lifting.
So they can't be the handlers, basically.
Which I think is so dumb.
When you consider there will be loads of people in the IPF who are on gear anyway. I'm just like...
you know what? I'm going to bring this up because it was how many years ago? 5 or 6 years ago? I did a video years ago called "The Problem with Powerlifting."
I think I remember this. It was 2019.
And you know, I'm gonna pipe this up.
Just before COVID, yeah, I remember
I'm gonna bring them all out. I'm gonna bring it back to the source. I'm gonna name all of them. You know, screw you. I had so many little assholes in my DMs. I want to clarify. When I made that video with obviously the boys, we didn't really have anyone in mind. Yeah. We were just speaking about how the IPF, there are incredible feats of strength, but there's going to be a lot of people who are enhanced.
Of course,
drug tested doesn't mean
any fucking sport.
valid. But I rationalise like this: I could take all the drugs in the world, and I'll never beat Usain Bolt in the race. And that's what people don't understand. It's like just because you're on gear doesn't mean you've suddenly got a free card to be amazing. If you're shit now, you're probably still
It's not like a super soldier serum type thing. It does a lot less. It does a lot less than beauty.
Especially for strength, it does a lot less. For muscle building, it's pretty similar.
I think that's such a very big misconception. Yeah, because for muscle building, like that anabolic
for bodybuilding,
it's fucking great. But like for actual strength, athletic performance, it's not. It really isn't the same, is it?
Nowhere near.
Yeah, it really isn't the same, is it? Yeah.
If there are some guys in the IPF that I genuinely believe are actually natural.
They're just freaks, yeah.
And they are still not that far off the untested guys.
Yeah.
But then you look at the natural bodybuilders versus there's a huge
the disparity is insane.
It's like obscene.
Yeah.
But so I had these people come to me, and so I just said a lot of people in the IPF are going to be enhanced.
Yeah.
Shit happened. I was actually more thinking about the Americans because I followed them more than the British guys.
Yeah. Oh,
the DMs. When I say these people, I'd never heard of these people in my life. Can I name them? Will I get in trouble?
I don't fucking care.
What's his name? Josh Greenfield or some shit.
No
Used to
idea.
be the IPF world record squatter.
Right.
He comes to me, you're a piece of shit, you're weak, you're this. Come say that to my face. And I said to him, I was like, no disrespect, big man. I said, we're in the same weight class. I said, your squat, incredible.
Yeah.
Fantastic squat. I said, but we bench the same. If you were on gear, get a refund. I was like, if you're going to be enhanced, bench more than me. Come on now, because his squat was fantastic. It's like 330 kilos.
That's insane.
Incredible squat. And I genuinely believe he's natural.
Yeah.
Because his bench was just so bad.
Yeah.
And I'll say it's still 180. But when your squat is 330, you expect more than 180.
I love that. It's like you can't be on gear because there's such
your bench is just so
there's such a disparity between your averages.
And he used to say all this stuff, like he used to be like, you do this. And he said, come say that to my face. And I said to him, I was like, all right. I was like, if you convince the boys, like you're up in York, I'm not travelling 5 hours. So I said, if you convince the boys, we'll meet halfway, we'll have a chat. And I said, you can even teach me how to squat.
Yeah.
Nothing. And then he started posting loads of shit about me, and then I think he blocked me to this. A guy called Kieran Gray, never heard his name before in my life. Strong dude. Yeah. Like really strong dude. And he sent me a message. He's like, you do this, you'll discredit us. I think I was like, big man. I was like, I don't know who you
I've no idea who you are.
And it's initially said because I initially toyed with the idea of Luke Richardson had just squatted 400 kilos
I remember
in sleeves.
That was insane. He was insane. And he was junior as well.
He was junior, first guy to ever do it.
He's incredible. Yeah,
and that's initially what like almost prompted that thought of like, could he be enhanced?
Yeah.
Probably, but guess what? Enhanced, I'm still not squatting 400
kilos. No one's doing that. Yeah.
And I had loads of people. There's a guy called Sean who used to live in like a shipment container, so I sent him a picture of anusol and said it's for your wounds. I know this was obviously like 7 years ago. I might be remembering.
Well, you were
correctly.
probably a little bit less diplomatic, I imagine.
Yeah. I might be remembering correctly. But anyway, all these powerlifters cried at me, and bear in 90% of them I never even heard of. So I was like, you can't be that relevant.
I was going to say, like, sure.
If you died, I wouldn't even know about it. Let's be honest.
Like, if Ray Williams messaged you, you'd be like, okay.
That's the other one. Kelly Branton. A Canadian powerlifter. He was like third in the IPF at the time. He called me a pussy and all this stuff. I'm pretty sure a year later he got popped for 5 different steroids. And I went to message him, but he blocked me. And I was and he said it was in his protein powder. I was like, you didn't get protein. I don't think testosterone was in your protein powder, my friend. But and then I had an IPF official come up to me at my powerlifting meet in November 2018 or something. Okay. I remember I'm not going to name him because he's a sound guy. I actually really liked him. He came and goes, I saw your video calling out the IPF. I was like, fuck. I was like, I'm good. He's going to shit on me. Yeah. He goes, 100% man. Completely agree. He goes, Luke Richardson. He goes, him. I was like, we didn't say names. I was like, what? He's like, I've been trying to get him popped for years. I know he's on it, but I just can't catch him at the right time. We all know he's on it. And I was like, I thought you were going to shit at me. He goes, no, I think they're all on gear. He goes, they're all on drugs.
Of course they are.
I was like, you're a good dude. He actually, we spoke about it after. He's a lovely guy.
I actually feel really sorry for the insanely strong natties. Because I'm like, they must get like so much scrutiny to be like, you're no.
Oh, this Mossese guy.
Yeah.
All the comments like, you're on drugs. I'm like,
technically.
No, I mean, technically, he's actually allowed to be. It actually made me a little. I had to like sit him down. I was like, Mossese, I need you to like be prudent.
You actually have to be honest with me now.
I'm not going to tell anyone. I don't give a shit. If you are on gear, you're not competing in the IPF. But I said, the reality is this. I said, if you're on something and you get popped for it,
Exactly.
I said, it falls on me.
Yeah, those are the consequences that we have to deal with.
Yeah, and I said, I probably actually really, if anything about my job, this is really important. I said, tell me everything. I said, I'm not saying you're taking it knowingly.
Yeah.
Everything you've put in your mouth. Yeah. What supplements you take.
Yeah.
Tell me everything, because I don't really take any. I was like, nothing. So in my head, I was thinking, he must be taking Psalms and not know about it.
No, yeah,
I was like, he must be taking something and just not know about it.
Is there something else in your insulin that you're not telling me?
Yeah, and I was like, you swear you've never taken anything? He goes, I don't really know about anything it is. I was like, fair enough. So that's my issue, is that I'm worried you're taking something you don't know you're taking.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah,
But he swears that he's not, and I believe him.
It's like when loads of people took Psalms and they thought it was alright, and it's like, you realise you're not natural anymore, right? It's like, it may be shit, but you're not natural anymore.
I remember this guy at the gym. He's in great shape. I'm friends with him. He's a good dude. But the first time we got chatting, and I said to him, I was like, what are you taking? I've never touched anything. I was like, thank you. You're in great shape. Yeah, but he's like, you're in great shape. And then after a while, I said to him, I was like, you swear you've never taken anything? He goes, no, don't touch anything. Then he comes to me and goes, Harry, I think I'm going to do it. I was like, well, he goes, I'm going to hop on gear. Can I have some advice? I was like, I'm not a medical professional. But I was like, of course you can have some advice. He's like, I said, the first thing you do, get your blood work done.
Yeah.
So he gets blood work done. He's like, can I send it to you? Something's come back a bit odd. I was like, yeah, of course you can. Send it to me.
It's already and
his testosterone is in the bin, like 3. As in, my ex-girlfriend had the same testosterone levels as him, and his liver enzymes were through the roof. And I said to him, I was like,
what is going on?
I was like, big man, I said, can we talk about something? He goes, what's that? He goes, you've never taken anything. He goes, no, I literally no. I was like, are you not taking, like, I was like, I'll be straight with you, you're taking orals. I was like, you are taking orals. I was like, you take Anavar? He goes, no, honestly. I go, what supplements do you take? Oh, okay, I take these.
That was it.
And he showed me the supplement, and again, bless him, he was clueless. It was a supplement blend of 3 different Psalms that you could buy online. Rad 140, something else.
I remember Rad 140.
Yeah, and there's, I think, MK677, which I know is not technically a Psalm, it's growth hormone secretagogue, but it was like a combination pill of those. And he sent it to me.
He had no idea. And
I said to him, I was like, do you know what that is? He goes, oh no, my friend just told me it's really good, like a natural test boost. I said, big man, that's Psalms.
It's not like one of the grenade ones.
And he was like, oh shit. I was like, because you're not that big with that low test. He was like, that would explain why I feel really weak when I stop taking them. And it's like you said earlier about people just not actually knowing.
Some people are generally completely unaware. Yeah. And that's like with most. I remember, this is really, really random. I used to work at GNC. Like metrics. So bad. It was so bad. And I had to... someone came in and they were like, oh, can I get these? I can't remember what it was, but she was talking about being vegan, and I was like, okay. And she goes, yeah, can I just get another one of these? And I had to be like, have you had these before? She's like, yeah, that's what I usually have. And I went, these are gelatin tablets.
You're vegan.
But she had no idea. Didn't check. I've only been vegan for a couple of months. So it's very good with, obviously, from the food perspective.
Yeah.
But didn't realise animal products.
Still
I was like, just technically.
It's when people call themselves like flexitarians. It's like, oh, I'm veggie, but I still eat meat. I was like, so you're not veggie?
This is such a really weird tangent from gym kit, but I fucking hate that labeling thing. Because I'm like, just don't say you're a vegetarian. Just say, I eat what I want. I just try not to eat as much meat for X, Y, Z reason.
I think sometimes
I've seen vegans eat fucking cookies. I'm like, just don't fucking call yourself vegan.
That's like saying, in like a loose comparison, is I'm natural. I only take
Psalms or
a little bit Psalms.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I take 1 cycle a year. So you're either naturally.
It's like you can just say like, I'm not natural. I'm on TRT. Just say that.
Yeah.
Don't be like, oh, I'm natural. I'm like, well, are you? I just don't understand that kind of bollocks labeling.
I think some people use it as almost defining characteristics, like as in they almost, again, not everyone, is that sometimes people feel like they don't have a lot of like self-identity, so they have to give themselves a label to.
That's a really bollocks excuse. I'm sorry.
No.
I was going to say, I have all the excuses. That's
the only reason
dumb.
I say that is because I know not from friends and people I've been affiliated with did have like that was their mentality. That's why I link it. Because it was always the people who really struggled with their identity, but they had to latch onto something. I always used to be like, Is there something here like, yeah,
It's
maybe.
like people who jump between different sports every like 5 years. I'm like, cool, you just need something, don't you?
Yeah, you're just lost.
Yeah, you just lost. Yeah, you
Let's
don't
talk
need-
about therapy. It's fantastic.
Therapy's fun. Yeah, exactly.
It's
yeah,
great. I
Yeah,
mean,
do therapy instead.
I say this to people all the time. I said, I feel like I'm this. I'm like, do you really know who you are?
I say to people, I'm just fucking going to therapy.
You go, I can't afford it. It's like, if you spend 200 quid a month on supplements,
I
you
was
can afford
about to say,
therapy.
like, I can guarantee you can. It's like we're talking about coaching. I'm like, you probably can.
I had this conversation with someone before, and I literally someone came to me for coaching, and they were like, because one of the questions I asked is, are there any medical or mental health considerations I should be made aware of?
Valid, yeah.
And they were like, yeah, I'm actually currently dealing with this, this, and this, and this. And I was like, can I be honest with you? And they were like, yeah. I was like, save your money.
I remember you telling me the story. Yeah,
Go therapy.
Go therapy instead. Yeah, probably better than coaching. Yeah.
Yeah, mate, we can revisit this 6 months, a year's time when you're. But
Get your shit together.
Go therapy.
Yeah, get your shit together. Then we'll get jacked.
because the issue is sometimes when they'll avoid therapy
Yeah.
and latch on to, you probably see this a bit actually.
Oh,
as well.
fuck it. I mean,
they
I
latch
did
onto
it.
you as well, they latch onto you as a therapist,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
realise I'm out of my
Yeah,
depth
this
here.
is so not what I can do right
Yeah,
now.
from my depth here. Like, this is, I'm not. I think the issue with the internet, even like when I had all the powerlifting drama, is that some people just love just fighting the fight and just going through the arguments. So I just
Yeah.
blocked everyone. After a while, when you realise you can't bother to respond, I just blocked everyone.
Yeah.
So I was like, we were like mid conversation, and I had this with some people now who were like lean on me, but then project really badly onto me. Were like, you said this in a video where you said the range of motion was bad, blah blah blah. But that triggered something that my ex said to me once. I'm like, I honestly,
This
I
is
was like,
so not what I need.
I was like, obviously, I'm always trying to be like very aware of mental health, but I was like, sometimes you turn around like that's a reach, like
you-
the shortened range is not. And after a while, and they just come for you, and you
It's like, who hurt you?
yeah, apparently me.
Apparently
and then
her.
you turn around and say, look, I'm sorry, didn't mean to. But then they keep going, and they're like, look,
Yes.
end the conversation. I apologise. I'll keep that in mind next time. But you just try and be like kind and stuff, and then they just keep coming at you. Like with the powerlifting, I just block them.
This is generally why I just do not respond to fucking people. It's
God.
just one of those things where I'm like, I can't fucking do it.
It's the reason why, because 99.9% of people who message me, great people, like
Yeah.
10 out of 10, fantastic, good people, have like, they either ask me questions or they lean on me and they give like, ask me like, but the thing is, they do in such a respectful way, as like they actually come to you because they just want to talk to someone who's kind of maybe been there, and I love
1%.
it. And then there's an 0.1%
Fucking
that just will say something, I'm really struggling with this, and I'm like, oh, I'm really sorry, have you ever thought about getting help? Why the fuck do you think I need help? And I'm like, and they're like, how dare you try and deflect? I was like, I'm just saying, like, it really helped me.
This is why I don't spend time on social media. Like I said, this is why I just.
So I don't reply to YouTube comments.
Yeah, exactly. YouTube would probably worse for it. Yeah.
I know that when I reply to a YouTube comment, it's like I'm not going to be able to correct dumb. Someone will be like, because you can't, like, if someone comes to you who's like so narrow-minded, you turn around and be like, am I going to be the one to change your
what's the
mind?
analogy? Is like it's like trying to play chess with a pigeon. It's like you can be the best chess player in the world. The pigeon is still going to knock the pieces over and shit all over the board.
That's what I do.
And you
Literally me.
I was like, and you cannot fucking change that.
I actually saw a very brief clip, like, come up on my TikTok of Joe Rogan speaking about that. And he said the reason why he doesn't reply to comments is because positive ones are fantastic to read, and 99% of them are positive, and I love it. I always read them, and I always appreciate them. But he goes, the 1% that are negative, he goes, you're not going to be the one to change their mind.
No.
And he goes, and to think you are is an ego flex from you.
I remember that. Like, again, segueing back to like when like social media education was like starting to really peak, like COVID lockdown. Like, I used to watch like big name educators have massive arguments in their own comment section with this like a fucking paragraph, and it's like continued in the next comment. Big fuck. And I'm like, how do you think you're going to not even put across a decent point over Instagram?
Yeah.
Also, you're not going to change this random person's mind.
No.
Like, it's just not going to fucking happen. I like. There's something fucking wrong with that. Fitness industry is so very just have a different opinion. Who cares? Like,
Well, I said this before, is like the issue I have with a lot of the fitness industry, especially the younger people who kind of adopt that, is like they just copy everyone else's information.
yeah.
If you put 3 people who are deemed to be in some capacity respected in the industry, let's look at Paul Carter as one, let's look at Mike Israel as another, and let's look at hypertrophy coach.
Yeah.
3 by a large group of people we really respect in the industry.
Very similar niches and like
Also, all very educated, very intelligent in their own capacity. But I guarantee if you put all 3 of them in the room and talk about hypertrophy, they will disagree on a lot of things.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But then why do you suddenly adopt the mentality that one of them is right about 100% when you realise actually there are either many different ways to do things, or maybe they can be wrong as well.
I remember I used to be like an admin, or I used to work in a Facebook group for a big name individual with a big company that he's no longer part of. I'll tell you later. It was fucking.
Yeah, I want to know
bad.
this. Are you a
And,
moderator?
Huh?
Are you a Discord?
I was
mod?
moderator, yeah, and I got kicked out of it because I started kicking off. Anyway, it was bad.
What's new?
But like,
Why am I not surprised?
and someone asked it. It was like just for like free advice. It was there to sell products. It wasn't there.
Yeah,
to,
of course.
Obviously. And someone said like, "Oh, I'm struggling to lose like the last 10 pounds of body fat or something like that." Fucking 200 comment thread. And it was and I was like, oh
So
my
toxic.
God, it's over 10 pounds is what? 4 kilos? 4.5 kilos?
About four and a half.
4.5 kilos. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, like I guarantee you I could probably do that in like 2 weeks.
So you feel about eating less and moving more?
But like it was so many derivatives and variations of that, exactly that phrase. Oh, cut out carbs for this week, and then I was just like, oh my, and then obviously as a moderator you have to like comment like other people. It was literally a 200 comment thread of one person innocently asking, hey, I've lost 20 pounds on my own,
which is great.
This lost 10 is just not going, man. Like the thing I'm doing, it's not working anymore. 200 fucking comments from, I would probably say 40 different people.
Yeah,
just going back and forth, and I'm like, this just highlights me like, oh my God, social media is the worst place to get advice like this. Like, I would actually rather someone just got with a coach who's like okay and just goes, let's stay with this.
Just listen to this.
Just fucking listen to one person, please.
Well, the big thing at the moment is carnivore diet.
Yeah, that's really fun to watch the people who do that get more and more red and unhealthy as the years go on.
I actually do a video about this on Monday. Spoke about some girl who basically went on the carnivore diet and was like, oh, I've got my period back. And I was like, and I said, you have to, in the video I basically said did the diet do that, or did the diet fulfill something they were missing previously? I bet maybe her fat intake previously was non-existent.
Like post-comp or something like that
like,
as well.
Non-existent fat
calories
intake,
tanked,
hormones
exactly.
in the bin, and then suddenly went on the carnivore diet, which is obviously very
like a lot of fat,
heavy. And suddenly your period's back, not because of the carnivore diet, but because you're actually eating a healthy amount of fat.
From eating 20 grams of fat a day
to like
about 80
or something.
I was going to say, yeah.
And then they're like, well, it's fixed my period. Like, did it fix your period? I bet your bum stinks now. Because I red meat every day.
And you are looking more and more red by the day.
Maybe I need that. Maybe I'm being so pale. But I think you have to, Dove can help. I had some commentary say, oh, I'm in a calorie deficit, but I'm not losing weight. And then you give them the really shit answer, which is not in a calorie deficit. And they're like, but I'm like, here it is. And you just leave it there. And then you guys then watch everyone else go wild.
It's so funny.
There's a guy, TNF, he speaks quite like bluntly about TNF nutrition dude. Lovely guy, really sound. He speaks really bluntly about nutrition.
Right.
But he's a very smart guy, very clued up. But he's so
on it. Yeah. Okay,
there's no like explanation. He'll be like, this
is the reason.
It kicks off. He'll be like, so I'm like, you can't lose weight doing this, and he'll just reply, you eat too much, and then the comments. But then you actually say him like, it's actually a valid point.
Yeah, he has a point, but there's not much of an elaboration, which is probably the thing that's really needed.
That's what really pisses people off.
Yeah.
And when when people call him out, he will elaborate.
The thing that the issue I have with that is, and the issue with all of that, it boils coaching down to something that's very, very simplistic and repetitive, which is just you're training and you're tracking macros, which is not what coaching really is meant to be. And this is why a lot of people do it, because all I have to do is change my macros, and it's like, well, yeah, that's all you have to do, but it's not what you are meant to do. It's not what coaching is.
In coaching, the programming aspect of it is usually, like with training and stuff, is usually the least involved aspect, because like with good program doesn't really change unless it needs
Honestly, to. This is a bit of a flex. I fucking never have to change my clients' programs, because we go through a very extensive onboarding process, and I go, this program I know is going to fucking work for you. If one or two things don't work, well, just fucking change it for something else. Like
I say to people now is that rather than wait to the end of I change blocks because people get bored.
And you need some,
I said to them, if it were up to me, you'd run the same program until
eternity.
I'd run programs for like 6 to 9 months,
Same.
if not longer.
Yeah.
I said we change things based on a couple of things. Do your goals change?
Yeah.
Are you really bored?
Yeah.
And if a movement's not working, I'm not going to wait till the end of the block to change it.
Literally.
We're just going to change it now.
Right now, yeah.
Like if we get to 4 weeks in, we can't figure out why this is working. For whatever reason, it doesn't gel with you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to force you to do it for another however many weeks. I'll say we'll find an alternative. There are 100.
Literally, I had this with a client recently who, not bodybuilding, does like multiple sports, runs, just training, and like he's got like a Hatfield split squat in his program, and he's just like, it's just not doing it for me, like for whatever reason. And like, I had 2-3 weeks in, and he was like, should we change it? And I went, just do a fucking dumbbell split squat. Yeah. Like, I'm like, just can you load 2 dumbbells? Can you really load it the fuck up? So we do the Hatfield squat. Yeah, cool, fine, no problem.
Yeah,
like it's really not going to change that much.
So in macros, it's like let's adjust them slightly. Okay, well, is it working? Yeah, then why do we need to change it?
Yeah.
Like, because I feel like we should. It's like, but
I make very subtle changes to food.
I'll say it doesn't need, like once you have your baseline macros and then you kind of figure out what the body's doing and then you adjust it once you've kind of got the data.
That's what coaching is as well, is being able to see that as well and be like, right, cool, we're going to need more food here, we're going to need to do this.
Most coaching ultimately comes down to just not so much that I heard the phrase people buy coaches, not coaching, in the sense that they invest into you.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of that is actually firstly form analysis, being able to correct your client's shit. And also just supporting them, answering their questions, giving them not giving them 50,000 answers.
Exactly. This is one thing I found. This is the thing that's like I always say is that slipped off a bit because I've been so busy. Is like the best intake and experience of the coaching is when I just fucking talk to them all the time.
Yeah,
not check-ins, just chat to them.
Just chat to them.
It just makes this is the easiest thing in the world.
It's also the best thing because the majority of value someone's going to get from a coach is actually having all these questions that they just don't know the right answer to, and actually having them answered. By saying, but I read so many things, like ask me, and I guarantee if I say it, it's probably better than the shit you're reading on YouTube.
Like I say, like my business would be in the shitter if I didn't have the ability to voice note people. Because I'm just like, it's that cool, done. Any questions?
I love a waffle.
No, you've explained me. Got it. Awesome. Done. Like that's 90% of my coaching.
The one thing I wish more clients would do is actually just ask me more questions, because a lot of them say, I feel bad because I'm like, it's my job.
Like, it's my fucking job.
I'm like, literally use me. Milk me.
I had one of my clients who's like, he just cracks on. He's like, I feel like I'm a really boring client. I'm like, you're not a boring client. You do everything you're meant to do. You crack on. You get results. And then I'm like, if you want to ask me a question, just fucking ask me a question.
Isn't that the best client? The client that does what they're told.
Absolutely, yeah. And then just go, what do you think of this? I'm like, yeah, it's good. We can trial it. Do you want to try it? Yeah, let's try it. It's good. I didn't like it. All right, do the thing then.
Most of the time they say, I want to do this, and I just say justify. They come up with shit justification. I'm like, that's not a good. No, shut your mouth. Or they'll turn around, but because of X, Y, Z. I'm like, you know what? That's actually a fair reason. I don't agree with it, but sometimes I need to show you why I don't agree with it. Do it, you'll realise you hate it too, and then you'll turn back to me and say, you're right. I'm like, but now we know.
Yeah, you got to fuck up for a bit.
Like, honestly, coaching is most of coaching is just building really good relationships with people and just being there just to, if that'd be a shit time, support them, reassure them, and just answer their questions, and also just fix their shit from not because sometimes you see them in really bad form and you're like, you know what, you aren't to know any better, but just trust me, it's going to be a boring few weeks while we correct this, but once we correct this, you'll be fine.
I do this with some of my injury guys where I'm like, look, this is going to take a while, but it will work, but you are going to have a few shit sessions every now and then, or you're going to be like, this doesn't feel right. I'm like, it'll balance out over time, but you're going to need to keep doing it. I'm like, you're going to have that inner keep going. It will, the system will kind of play out.
You need to break those bad habits.
Absolutely.
Most of it, I always do the movement screening, and the first thing I always go is ankle mobility is shocking for most people.
Most people's ankle.
That's why I expect it. And I always say to them, your ankle mobility is going to be shit. And they're like, no, it's not bad. And they got to there, and I'm like, it is. And then once we do that, we go through movements. I just say, look, just show me everything. What do you mean? Everything. Send me one set of every movement is fantastic. And you realise, most people this is actually
I actually can't believe how many coaches don't screen their clients or look at how their clients move before they train. And I'm like, I get it takes a little bit of extra time, but it's not fucking hard.
All you have to do is basically send them a movement screening thing. They'll send it back to you. And you just sit there going through it and say, make notes of this. If you don't want to do that, I'm like, have you heard of a thing called Zoom? Just do it over 30 minutes. I do it for clients all the time. I'm like, look, let's just look at it now. Because they were, I'm really bad at filming myself. I'm like, cool. Have you got room behind you? Cool, right, lie on the floor, do this. And it will take me 30 minutes. It's one of the things I make clients do before we start. So we'll do the Zoom, the conversation. Well, maybe have one or two Zooms then if they want to talk further. Let's say 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I send to them, let them decide. Never making people decide on the call. I say, have a think about it. This is right for you. I don't want to peer pressure you into something. I want you to do it because you're happy with it. Then I send them an FAQ sheet, just how long should I rest? Things like that. Really basic questions, and a movement screening. And I say, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to send me them. Here's my number. Send me the videos to my WhatsApp, the movement screening. I now have your number. Let me go through them. Here's the contract. Think of a start date, but I need X amount of time to go through this and have this. If they say, it's Friday, it's on Monday, give me another week. I'm like, I need at least, let's say, usually 5 days to actually just
go through everything.
But that's if I've got one new starter. If I've got 6, I need a lot more than 5 days. Give me a couple of weeks.
There was like a 6-week period where I think I took on like 2 to 3 people a week, and oh my
It's
God,
hard.
my phone had no memory because the amount of videos I was getting, and I was just like, holy shit. And I was like, not that I regretted it, but I was like, I really should have had a bit of a better organisation with this.
You just had a little bit of a break between.
It was literally just like every other day I was
Yeah.
like, set this up, and like, I just remember it was a point where I was almost on autopilot where I was like, right, looking at like how people move, like design the program. And I remember like sitting myself down before each program going, I need to make an effort not to be lazy and like just get into a routine and giving people similar shit and actually look at what's happening to me and then do that. And that was fucking hard. And then like, I know there's a business coach I always take the piss out of because he used to talk about like setting clients up, and he would be like getting ready to get on a flight, and he would say, I've had 3 spaces open up. Here's my form. If you fill it in now, I'll have you set up by the time I land in Dubai. And I'm like, how bad must those programs have been?
I bet his turnover is really bad as well.
Oh, of course it is, yeah. I mean, all of his clients' turnover is really bad right now. I know how his business model works.
So, because I always look like, the majority of my clients I've been with them between 1 and 2 years.
Yeah, so
Over half, I'd say.
For me, I'm like, they either last a couple months because it's like it just wasn't what they thought it was, or it just didn't gel. And you're like, and I'm like, cool, that's fine. That's why I don't have like minimum contracts. I'm like, yeah, if it's not something that works, cool. Or it's like 2-3 years.
Yeah. So a lot of time, the clients that typically tend to leave, not all the time, but oftentimes are because they just aren't willing to put the work in.
I've had a few of that.
Actually, it's quite common, I find. So my first ever intake was, I want to say September 2022. I brought on 10 people.
Yeah.
Of those 10 people, I think 7 of the original 10 are still here.
Yeah, that's about right.
And we get on like that. We're great. But then you have the occasional client that'll come in and you'll set them with like quite a realistic thing to achieve. And they just have like really bad work ethic, and then they tend to leave.
Yeah, I'm very direct when it comes to this now. That camera's going to die soon, by the way.
We did that again.
To be honest, we've still got fucking memory, so it's just the camera's going to die. But yeah, I do this where, like, on the call, I raise concerns and I go, you've mentioned this. Is this going to be a barrier for you to like being able to train more than 2 months? Do you really think it is? Yes, no, right. If it's yes, then you need to go and work on that, or that's going to be the first thing we work on, because there's no point we give you a program, you half-arsing it, and then fucking off for 2 months. It's just not going to work.
Because also, oftentimes from what I've noticed, not all the time, but it gets put back on you.
Well, the other thing I'm very direct with, I say, look, I try to say no salesy stuff on consults, but I will say this to everybody, is if you leave, especially the injury consults and that kind of training aspect, if you leave, like within about a month or 2, you're not going to get much out of it, and you'll probably come back in about 2 or 3 months, and I only know that because I've had quite a few people do that.
I say a couple of things is, if you do as you're told, there's no reason why it won't work.
Yeah.
But you
have to do what you're told.
That's the thing. That's the hard thing, actually doing it told.
Yeah, that's the point.
And the second thing is, I'm not going to do it for you.
Yeah.
As in, I can tell you what to do, but I can't force you.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I can't babysit you.
Yeah.
If you go MIA, it's not a coach's job to chase you every day. Like, can you message me? Are we good? If you've got 30 clients,
Two-way street.
Yeah, exactly. If you message me, I'm there. But like my old coach used to say thing, if I've got 30 clients, I shouldn't have to message you every day to make sure you're cracking on.
Yeah.
But I should expect if you need me, you message me and I'm there straight away.
Yeah.
Like
That's what it is, yeah.
Yeah. But I think that people have unrealistic expectations of, if I'm paying X amount, like, you're actually not paying a lot.
I think a lot of people don't actually know what coaching is. I think that's really, I think they see, oh, this person got a great result, I want that result. I'm like, yeah, but you have literally seen 6 to 8 to 12 to 10 to fucking 52 weeks of a visual change, and obviously whatever I say has happened and all what they're going through. I'm like, it's like this person has completely changed their life, they no longer do this, yada. I'm like, yeah, but you don't see everything they've had to do that.
The setbacks.
After day, after day. I like the ups and the downs, the ups and the downs.
No one's perfectly...
Absolutely not. Yeah.
I say this, I'm not looking for success, I'm looking, like, I just want to see you try.